Hi, I'm Lisa the Sewing Lady of Pinellas Park, Florida, United States of America. I put that out there because I know we've gone global. Amazing to me. Never would have thought of that. From the top, I have a fantastic crew that works on this with me. If they didn't, we wouldn't have this because I am computer illiterate, camera illiterate, and even cell phone illiterate. Who knew? But I can sew, and I can teach you how to sew. And you'll have to forgive me. I kind of had to have a script, so that's why I look at the computer every so often, because I get off topic pretty easy, and we got to make this thing roll. So, you see me looking off to the side? No, I don't have anybody in the corner making funny faces and stuff. I just have the computer. Alright, so I have a lot I want to share with you and very little time, so everybody pay attention. For those of you who don't like YouTube, I know, everybody goes through it so fast, you can't figure out what they're doing, but we are working extremely hard so you can see what I want you to see, know what I want you to know, and teach you how to do this the right way the first time and the fastest. Because I know you all are, oh my God, I want to get a dress made. Right? Of course. I've been sewing for 52 years. Quite a while. I started when I was 5 years old with hand sewing, doll clothes, and then I moved on to the sewing machine. My sister, who's 4 years older than me, Lenore, taught me. She felt it was her job. So, sewing has been with me all these years. All the highs of my life, all the lows of my life. Sewing pulled me through them. I made clothes for myself, my children, for other people, for everything you can imagine. Even a couple of pets. I'm not always big on that though. But sewing has been that much a part of my life. I tell people I have thread in my veins, which is probably true for all the years I've been doing it. I probably know a few things by now. I've made all those big mistakes that you all are terrified of making. And I'm going to try to keep you away from them. But if you make those mistakes, they're fixable. That's what Mr. Seam Ripper was created for. They're there to fix the problem. The other thing is, fabric's gotten expensive. At least here in the United States. I know Australia has about the same problem. Don't know about the rest of you. Every project I do with you, you will have no waste. What little scraps you have, you save, because you may want to use it for something else, but very little waste. If you have a lot of waste, that means you bought too much, because you're going to know exactly how much you need. You're going to know how to make it fit you correctly. You're going to know how to measure yourself. This is very important. If you can't measure yourself, you can't get to the next step of making something, because you've got to have the right measurements. This is the most important thing. We're going to get to tools in a little bit. And these, I'm going to have a list that's going to be put up on my Facebook page, and it will be in the files. All you do is you click on files, then you click on the list. It'll be in PDF format for those who are knowledgeable. You know me, I don't know. So, you'll have it. If there's things on there that you're like, oh my God, I can't buy this right now, don't worry. Most of this stuff you either figured out already how to get around it, or somebody will say, hey, I got one, you can borrow mine. That's how I started. Didn't have any of it for myself. But the stuff I have in the list is suggested. Most of it kind of need, but some of it you can get by without for a little while. Alright, and at this point, give me 1 second, because I gotta actually move the page up. I am a little bit off. I've got a new computer at the same time. Don't you know, I take that moment. All right. I want you to know the triumphant feeling of saying, I made this, and be proud about it. I don't want you to go out of the house in something that looks bad. I don't let my students take their projects home if they look bad. And you'll hear from my students because they're going to pop in from time to time. A few of them want to be part of the video, of course. So you're going to show them. In fact, they're going to do the tips and tricks video just for you guys. They're really good. They're what we call phenoms here. That means they are phenomenal. They do stuff that even I didn't do at their age. So they're amazing. But they're just like you. They started without knowing anything. And I taught them. And I also teach guys. Oh my God, guys. So, yeah, here in America, it's a little bit hard to get the guys here, but we're working on it. We have two, almost a third one. We're working on that. So, you know, hopefully it'll get better, but, you know how guys are. All right. All right. This is what you can expect from my lessons. First of all, I want to teach you how to get a garment done. I want to teach you ways that are quick, but not stupid. I mean, there are ways to do this that are called garment industry. And you're going to learn those different ways of doing things. And that's good, because a lot of times in this world, we don't have that time to sit back and do it the long way. And I'm going to show you how to do a lot of stuff the fast way. I have a lot of you that would prefer doing it directly to the fabric. I'm going to teach that, but I'm also going to teach pattern making, which is really important, because with a pattern, you make something called a muslin, and that will fit you. And when it fits you right, you've got all the changes in the pattern, you don't have the gaping neck or the sleeves that's all funky. All that it's had taken away. So this is important stuff. And I want to make sure you get everything. I'm going to do my darndest to get it in the right order. This takes a little bit on me, because hey, it's been a long time for some things, and I actually had to crack the books and refresh my brain on a few things. Okay, for you from Africa, I was made aware of the sewing machine you have. It's called a butterfly, and I had to find something similar and not have to buy it. I'm not a rich woman either. So, Singer originally made the model that came out before yours did. Yours is called a clone. And clones were models that were made, probably Japanese, Taiwan, so on. But they're made after this model. And if you notice, the tension's exactly where yours is, and everything looks the same. The only difference, it says Singer. Real important. I don't know what attachments you had or don't have. So somebody, please let me know who's got what on that end, because if you have attachments, I will do something about attachments for you guys. Because there's a lot of neat things that you can use that will make the job easy and give you a nice professional finish. The main sewing machine I probably will sew with is going to be another Singer. I don't have it sitting out because I have things on the table, but it looks like this guy, except it does a lot more, and most of you probably saw pictures of it and know it's my new baby. So yes, I'm proud of my girls. We haven't named her yet, so if anybody wants to throw names at me too for a new sewing machine, big, it's black, it's beautiful, she's gorgeous, she does everything I want. So I wouldn't mind a little help in the naming department. Alright, future lessons will include pattern making. The very first lesson is going to have in it how to measure. So one big deal is, yes, you're going to want a measuring tape. Now, I do know I am going to be dealing with centimeters and inches. I will give you everything in both. I actually learned that stuff. Yep, took me all this time, but I can do it. Of course, I cheat a little too, so it's okay. But everything will be there for that. Now, there is one thing I gotta make sure you guys all know. In order for you to know when I have put something on YouTube, you have a job to do. You have to go in. Now, mind me, I have to read this one because I get it messed up. Alright. You have to join and post on the Lisa's Sewing Lesson Facebook page. That makes sure that you're a member and you can do everything and you can talk back to me at this point. And then when you're on YouTube, you have to put a comment in the comment section below the film, and then you have to hit the notification bell. Very important. If you don't hit the bell, you won't know when I did it. You'll have to be going, geez, what did she do that last? And make sure you subscribe on there. It's not costing you anything when it says subscribe. And, oh, pardon me. The gentleman want me to know something. Whisper it. Hit the like icon. Very, very important. That's a big help. Okay, now you know. There's a crew behind there. I'm not by myself in this room. Two very nice guys. Very nice guys. If it wasn't for them, who would carry these things for me? I don't. They're my muscle men too, yeah. Okay. Even though I thought about choosing this by majority, I'm getting way more comments so far about doing a dress first. So we're going to do a dress first, a skirt second. We can kind of put the two together at the same time. We'll work that out. Don't worry. All right, the biggest thing you can do for me, and this is the most important reason I'm actually even doing this. I want to keep sewing alive. If you share just one thing with one other person, putting a button on, making a seam, fixing a pair of pants, you've done your job. That's all I ask. I don't ask for money. I don't ask for anything else. All I want is this to be passed on, because people are stopping sewing. And you know what's happening? The places that manufacture clothing, they don't have people to make it. You know what's going to happen? If we don't learn how to sew, there's going to be a lot of people out there without clothes. And then we'll be rich because they can't make their own clothes. So think about it from that point of view. Any of you who are up-and-coming designers, I love people who want to design. My favorites, of course, are those that like to do bigger women, because bigger women have fallen through the cracks as far as I'm concerned. We don't get decent clothes, and you all know it. So we want to look cool, we want to look nice, we want to look really chic, but we're never going to be this small. So, and if you're a up-and-coming designer and you already draw, try and send me a picture. Send me snaps. I'll give you a good critique on them. Maybe point out where you can make a little change here or there to make it even easier. Or help you design the pattern to make it with. For the designers, yes, paper patterns. It's not cut off the fabric. It never works. Trust me, I've done that. Okay, now we're going to take a half a second here, and then we are going to show tools that you will need, and you will get a list of off the files. Remember that. Okay. Remember I told you about tools you're going to need? These are important. Alright, some of you know it as a yardstick. Some of you know it as a meter stick. Either way, it's a long piece of wood. It's got markings on it for your particular conversions, inch, centimeter, millimeter, 1/4 inch, all that stuff. You need to have one of these. That's a need. A ruler. 12 inches on one side, 30 centimeters on the other. Centimeters? Yes. Alright. Nope, take that back. Yep, nope, we're right. 30 centimeters. Okay. Definitely need one. If you don't have one and you have a piece of wood that you can cut to 12 inches or 30 centimeters, perfect. That's what you want. Alright. Needles. Obviously, you can't sew without them. Well, you can, but don't go there with me. Alright? There's all kinds of little needles. Alright? Everybody's telling me to tell you, you know, you need this size, and that size. Frankly, you need the size that works with your hands and with your fabric. If you got very thin fabric, you want a thinner needle. You got fat fabric, you can get a fat needle. Kind of basic. Fat, fat, thin, thin. Same thing with those of us who have sewing machines. Needles, they come in all sizes. And in different countries you have different sizes, and I don't know all of them. So, you want something that's made for the fabric you're working with. If you read the back of a needle package, it will tell you, for sewing machine needles, it will tell you what kind of fabric it works with. If you don't know what kind of fabric you have, ask someone or ask me. I'm pretty good at guessing on that stuff. God knows, I've had hundreds of pounds of it over the years. Yep. And pin cushion. They fall out. Trust me. That's why we don't shake them around a lot. This is quilter pins. Okay, quilter pins are long. They're pointy. They're good for the heavier fabrics. When you get into a lot of thin, they're not as great. But when you're first starting, they're long enough for you to get the idea of how to pin your fabric. Very important. There is a right way and a wrong way. These are dressmaker pins. If you don't get these right away, not so bad. If you get these first, try to get the longest ones you can get. This is as long as I have, and I know they come longer. They're thinner, and you can use them on just about any kind of fabric that's out there except upholstery. And corduroy, come to think of it. Doesn't work on corduroy. You need a fat one for them. Alright. Remember I said seam ripper? And you were like, what is a seam ripper? This little guy. Got a little thing here, looks like a crab claw. Tell you what, it will become your friend, your enemy, and a few other things. You will use foul language at some point with it, because when you sew a seam the wrong way and you go and press it and it doesn't look the way it's supposed to, this is your friend. He gets rid of that mess and you can start over again. Very important. This is a have-to. Alright. Measuring tape. Must have one. If we can't measure ourselves, we can't sew for ourselves. We can't sew for anybody. You can't sew a damn thing without it. And this one happens to be 60 inches or 150 centimeters. If I have gotten that wrong, somebody can call me and tell me. Scissors. The next thing you need before you buy fabric is a pair of scissors. You can't just use any old pair. You will have one pair of scissors. You will commit to fabric. You cannot cut paper, any other thing but fabric. Alright, I know the question comes up, but if I use a pattern that's paper, that's a different deal, because it's really thin paper and it doesn't dull your thing like if you used, say, lined paper or computer paper. Okay? So you want one that goes really long. This particular model is a Fiskar, and it's made for people with arthritis like me. So I only have to do this. I don't have to stick my fingers through like with this one. This one gets stuck on my hand if I try to do it. See, that's why I don't use these anymore. Somebody else gets to. This is a little shorter, than this guy, and it's very pointy. There will be times where you'll want that. There will also be times when you're going to cut things that are really tiny and need perfect little corners on them. You want these. They can snip in real tiny little spots, like if you do a buttonhole, something like that. They're very good for that. Very important. That you really want to get. If you skip this guy, that's okay. You want the biggest guy, you want the littlest guy, but make sure it's pointy. Very pointy. Okay. You want pencils. Regular, everyday pencils. You can mark on your fabric. The thing is when I show you how to mark, you're not going to have it show. If you don't follow the rules, it'll show. Easy as that. Now, for those of you who want to go beyond that and buy something that's specifically for marking fabric, this is a quilter's pencil, silver. Shows up on a whole lot of fabrics. There's a few colors it doesn't work on, but most of us don't wear that color, so we don't worry about it. But if you fall into the thing of the gray don't show, then you look for a white one. And this isn't it, because we couldn't find it, but somewhere in my sewing room there is another quilter pen, and it is really bright yellow. I mean screaming yellow. If you can't see that on your fabric, you can't see anything, and you need maybe see an eye dog to help you cut. Okay? So, next few things, not so necessary at this time, maybe later. This I love. I've got these really inexpensive online, and they're called nippers. Now, when you go to cut thread, hand sewing or sewing machine, and you snip it. Why do you want one of these? Because if you keep on doing with this, you get a dull spot on your scissors and it doesn't cut fabric. You let this thing do it. If these bite the dust, they're cheap. That thing, it costs a little more. You want to take good care of it. This is a hem guide, and it does a lot of nifty things. For one, when you go to make a hem, you have to fold your fabric. You want it to be the same length everywhere you go. So your little red guy here will come straight down, and it will be even with, well, we'll use my fingernail, okay? So it'll be bright even, and then you go across, and you go to the next finger here, and look, you're going to bring it right to the same spot, and the same spot there. So it will always be the same. This is something I don't know if you can find these or not. I know I look around for them. I find them different places. The whole thing's an eraser. Look at this. This is cool. Look at that's all eraser. It's white. For those of you who draw, it doesn't leave that dark black shadow that ruins our pictures and makes us want to change a page. Save some paper. Save a tree. It also works on fabric. If you grind your pencil in, it doesn't work. If you leave light marks, it will take it off. It's really good. They're usually very cheap too, so you definitely want that. And that's all the tools you really need. And even, like I said, you don't have to have this. And if you have to choose for a first garment, choose these guys. They're thin, and a lot of you are going to work with thin fabric. And that's important. The hand needles, you got to have them. It just works that way. And the sewing machine needles, if you got a sewing machine, you got to have sewing machine needles. It's as easy as that. Other thing, and I didn't bring them out, are bobbins for your sewing machine. Make sure you got the right ones for your sewing machine. This is probably the one that you guys are using for most of you. If you're using Singer, and you've had a Singer a while, you all know which one that is. And I actually have one. Yes. And it looks like this. It's got a little bit of a dome here. Very tiny dome, not enough that you could probably even see on the camera. But if it's got a little dome, or when you go to the fabric store or you buy it online, it's a 66. If you don't have a Singer, it's a 15. This is a 15, the one with all the holes. This is a Singer. Big difference. This one doesn't work with this one, and this one really doesn't do a good job on this one. So that's where they differ. Yes, there's other machines, and people, don't tell me, I can't use those. I know, but these are the two biggest ones that get used. Everybody else, you got a special machine, and I'm thrilled for you. I wish I could have one like it, but I don't. So this is what you get. All right? Thread quality is an issue. All right. I have all kinds of thread here. People have donated because I don't have money. So people donate things. So I have all kinds of thread. This one is really good thread, or used to be. Sometimes you get a bad spool. If you can take Coates & Clark, and this is the dual duty, and really pop it real quick, and that's not real quick because I had to really wrap it around my fingers. That's a good spool. Then you got your cheap stuff. It's polyester. It'll do. It'll do. When you get to doing more professional looking stuff, you'll spend the money, and you'll find out if you buy one spool of that, you probably won't make as many mistakes. It goes with learning. So you have that. You have to remember what kind of thread you want. You want dressmaker's thread. You don't want buttonhole thread. You don't want the quilting thread. You want either a size 40 or size 50 thread. I know this varies from country to country, and I myself have started using size 40 in the bobbin. For those that don't understand this, we'll get into it. We're going to go over the sewing machine on another day. And when we go over the sewing machine, some of the things I want you guys to learn is how to take care of it. Because if you don't take care of it, it won't take care of you. So we're going to have somebody demonstrate that for us. But that is going to be another time. And I think this is a good time for me to take my break for the day. And I hope all of you will be here. This is going to happen on what would have been my daughter's 34th birthday. So I want everybody to enjoy it. And I hope you like it. And I hope you come back. So thank you very much.